why can't we on the left win the argument with MAGA? Seriously, does anybody know? Because despite having historically bad policies and historically low popularity, MAGA snake oil salesmen still know how to win the argument. I've had enough of it. And so I made this video to show you the 2 debate techniques that are gonna help you win every argument with MAGA. We're gonna work through a couple specific examples of arguments you're likely to hear from MAGA. But by the end, you're gonna have a general enough strategy that you can apply in any situation. So if you're ready to stop losing the argument with MAGA, then let's get started. All right, so here's the first argument. The left is pro-crime. If someone came up to you and made this claim, how would you respond? Maybe assuming they're talking about things like undocumented immigration or mass protests, you would start to defend those things, saying that no, they're good actually. But as soon as you start to answer from that position, you've taken the bait. So here's where we're gonna apply our tools, framing and burden of proof to the argument. Just like an actual frame doesn't call attention to itself, but determines everything inside it, your opponent's frame doesn't call attention to itself, but determines how the argument is gonna play out. So in the argument, the left is pro-crime, the framing is not the economy, the framing is not war, the frame is crime. Now the second tool, the burden of proof, is what needs to be proven and by whom. When someone accuses you of being pro-crime, you are now responsible for disproving that you are. That is, if you play inside the existing frame. But the secret rule that your opponent is never gonna tell you is that there's nothing obligating you to play within their frame. Just as they decided what we're gonna be talking about, you have every right to decide that too. So the strongest counterargument here takes their frame, reverses it, and then flips the burden of proof back onto them. Forget the left is pro-crime. Why don't you show me what exactly makes the right anti-crime? How is it anti-crime for the president to pardon a mob that attempted to violently overthrow the government? Can you explain to me how it's anti-crime to elect the first president who was a convicted felon? And how is it anti-crime for the president of the United States to have made over $2 billion off the presidency in just his first year in office? And if you sincerely believe those crimes don't count, I'd love for you to explain to me why. So notice how we shifted the burden of proof off of us and onto them, while simultaneously controlling the frame. You want to talk about crime? Let's talk about crime. If you're starting to see how this works, then think along with me as we go through the next one. The left is anti-American. So right off the bat, notice the frame. American. Your opponent is probably going to try and convict you of not wearing enough flags or not always standing for the national anthem. In other words, they're conflating Americanism with performative patriotism. But you don't have to accept that frame. Forget the left is anti-American. Show me how the right is pro-American. What makes America American is the Constitution. Explain to me what makes it pro-American for the president to defy the Constitution and attempt to run for a 3rd term. How is it pro-American to deprive people of their constitutional right to birthright citizenship? How could the right be pro-American while being so unashamedly anti-Constitution? That's one way to handle the argument. Control the frame so that American refers not to patriotism but constitutionality, and then shift the burden of proof back onto them. It's kind of fun once you get the hang of it, isn't it? So we'll do one last example together, and then you'll have everything you need to do it yourself. This time I want to tackle the argument, the left is anti-Christian. Now again, this one's a setup, right? There's nothing compelling anyone in the United States to be Christian. That's what's guaranteed in the First Amendment. But instead of defending the left's religiosity, why not take the frame and flip it back on them? The left is anti-Christian? What makes the right pro-Christian? How is it Christian to put up a golden statue of yourself at your own golf course and surround yourself with pastors to bless the decision? How is it Christian to post a picture of yourself as Jesus? And what exactly is Christian about the president and the vice president picking a fight with the Pope and losing? Can you put your stones down for a second? You got some repairs to do on your glass house. So yet again, shift the burden of proof, control the frame, works like magic. Now, of course, this shouldn't be the only tool in your toolbox. At times, you are gonna wanna make a positive case for the things that you'd wanna see in the world. And oftentimes, rather than having an adversarial debate, it's much healthier to have a constructive conversation. But if you've been feeling disempowered or just plain crazy from all of the right's bad faith arguments, this is probably the best tool to start with. So if you're looking for an extra credit assignment, how might you respond to the claim, the left is elitist? Let me know in the comment section below. And if this video gave you more confidence to take on bad faith MAGA arguments, do consider sharing it with friends or family members so that they can take those arguments on as well. As always, you can find more of me on Substack right here, and keep making the argument. You can win, and you will win. I'll see you soon.